Anyways, this is one of three or four that I have for that.
Yeah.
You see? And I make literally, I've done research in acoustics to be able to play these instruments because then I can make the head joints. Like for the Prince of Egypt, this is my piccolo, right? But I made a head joint of an A, the traditional Middle Eastern flute, and it's played like this. Claudio, like you, like all of us, these things are unique, precious,
Wow.
and irreplaceable.
Good for you, man.
And in my hands, I can make sound and music that nothing else in the universe can produce. The same way you are unique, our followers are special, and all of them are irreplaceable because in the hands of God, our lives can produce music that no one else can produce.
Thank you. Amen. Yeah. But also, it's important that you, some particular composer, right? When I don't know, uh, creating music for for a particular movie, they give you the room to improvise. Other are very, I suppose, are very strict. No, I want you to play like this, like that, or like that,
Correct, correct.
right? So
Yes.
it
For example, James Newton Howard, who's another genius I work with that I had not mentioned before, when we did King Kong,
yeah,
he wrote a piece specially for me, which is when King Kong is depressed and there's the sunset and the ladies trying to cheer him up and doing the juggling thing and he's like that and he's looking at the sun. That thing I did with a flute akin to this one. But then he asked me, he said, Pedro, I want you to play this melody with no world music inflections. I want you to play just like direct Western way. I need the sound of the instrument. So that's a very specific thing.
got it. Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes they tell me, do what you want, and I give them options, And
yeah.
many times, Claudio, they write something with the sound of whatever instrument they have in their machine and the computer or the keyboards, and they say, but you would know what goes best with this, so we trust you. So that's the beautiful thing, It gets to a point in which they can trust me, and then I can suggest many things and give them options because they say you know better your instruments, and you know better the options you have than we can ever imagine because you have so many of them. You see?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, man. Have you ever, when you are touring,
Oh, I
now,
forgot something important. I'm sorry, Claudio. One
go
second.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
And
go
the other
ahead.
incredible thing is why I had to do this. Because when they send the music for the tour of the world of Hans Zimmer, it is again the Prince of Egypt. There are some piccolo parts. I said, man, piccolo. Many people play piccolo. I want to do something special. This is the Prince of Egypt. I want to. That's why I made this thing. Many times I make instruments. I didn't play this. This is really good. This is freaking PVC, bro. I didn't pay $10 for this. And all these things you see here, all these curves and everything, and all these things you see here, and all those cuts and everything. Man, Claudio, you're an engineer. There are acoustic stuff there. This is research I did with the biggest authority flute acoustics had in America, the late Dr. John Coltman. And then I kept doing research with Dr. Peter Hukia with these things. which is another PhD teaching at the university in Cleveland. And that's why I could arrive to these things, because without their help, this is another one of them. So that's another one, the Persianate, and this one here. So all these things you see here, all the cuts and everything, is acoustics, is science, is physics applied to all the length and everything. So when I play an octave, when I play this, I'm in tune, because if I don't have these things, if I would do this one here would sound, would be out of tune. So now it's because of all these corrections. These things here are consequence of avionics.
That's right.
It's the way they've done research for the
The
wings
wheel of a
of the
plane. The wheel
planes,
of a, yeah,
not to stall. So I put
yeah,
these things in here. Look at this.
yeah. Wow.
You see, this is the flute. I made this flute. This is an Indian flute called bansuri, but I call it the king bansuri because it double holes in the whole system. I have four holes for my thumb, where normally a
Yep.
bansuri doesn't have anything for the thumb. I made this flute and with bamboo that we harvested in Kauai. Imagine that, my wife and I. Okay, and this is a flute that is in that scene of the Garden of Gethsemane, the where the moon, when Jesus says, "Father, if it's possible for this cup to I don't drink this cup, please, but not my will, but yours." When Jesus is praying, really in great distress, this is the instrument you hear being underneath that. It's just fantastic. And you can see it's double. So this is the only one in the world. With this, I can have access. With only one finger, I can play two
Sure.
holes. I can oh, or and it allows me to do things that with a normal bansuri you can't, because I have all these extra holes. So the thing is, I make these things out of necessity of expression. When I started with the great Ravi Shankar, he paid me one of the most wonderful, exquisite insults in my life. The first lesson I had with him, the beautiful Anushka Shankar, his daughter was like 13, 12 or 13. She played like a machine gun, that sitar. And then he had a great disciple called Kartik Sheshadri. Brilliant, brilliant, super monster, virtuoso. He lives in San Diego, I believe. And we're doing a rag called Nad Bhairav. And I had the normal bansuri, and I didn't have the proper technique because I studied the Accolades with our master, Omyo Dasgupta, who was 40 years senior disciple of great Ravi Shankar, who's the one that took me with Raviji. By the way, Claudia, I think I might be the only Latino who studied bansuri with great Ravi Shankar. So that's another blessing. God has blessed me with incredible teachers. Duduk with great Jivan Gasparian, Arabic Ney with Dr. Nabil Abdelmullah, and like that. And didgeridoo with David Hudson, who I learned didgeridoo while we were touring the world with Yanni. Imagine that. My first lesson in didgeridoo was in Beijing when we were doing the recording. That's when I started playing didgeridoo. Anyways, long story short, um, I literally stumbled on this thing, and Raviji told me, "Pedro, I'm sorry, but you sound like an elephant trying to run." Because I didn't have the proper technique. They were like, and so what I did is I said, I don't have 15 hours a day to play for the next 10 years of my life to play just one instrument, but I want to play this music. So my answer was to make my own instrument.
Good for you, man. Yeah.
And I worked very hard, and I came back and I played for Raviji, and then he was blown away. He blessed me. He said, Pedro, you need to patent this because they can steal this thing in India. I've had situations like that with my music, and I don't know what. And anyways, all these things come out of necessity and out of limitations. Out of limitations, we put the capacity God gave us to resolve, because you and I, we come from South America. We need to face things, and we cannot take no for an answer. We need to find solutions because we need to survive. We have that blessing of a power. It's a challenge for our societies, but also a blessing inside, because we have to come up with these things, and this is the response. Out of a limitation, I got disadvantage. I got the result of incredible advantage. Now, nobody sonically can touch me when I play this thing. Nobody can touch me because the level of evenness in the note half holds. That's called Myoki Todi. It's a raga family. I can kill this raga with this thing, which is very difficult to do with a normal bansuri. So out of disadvantage, great advantage. So out of the limitation, great consequence. There. You're going to ask me something about touring. You're going to ask me something about touring.
Yeah. So while you are in tour, do you ever record in a hotel with somebody?
Yes, I have. If you see the interpreter, yes. If you see the interpreter, that's a movie we did many years ago. I was on tour. I was in Bakersfield in a hotel when I did that, and I did another recording while I was, I believe, I don't know if it was Krakow or where else, I believe. So what we do, and I try not to do that now anymore because, Claudio, as I described to you what the dynamic that the everyday of touring is such a energy taxing thing that I try to not record much now when I'm on tour, because it's the energy I have is to go on stage and play 3 hours, which I call almost climbing Mount Everest every night, or having 15 rounds of boxing with Mike Tyson or something. That's the way it feels. But to tell you the truth, yes. And what we do, I have a special adapting thing that my friend Genius Cameron, brilliant genius mind, cellist. We did Game of Thrones touring. He devised this thing and he sold it for me and everything. It's a special stand that I can climb in any table, and I can put my microphone, and I have obviously my computer and the audio interface and everything, so I can record the instruments I have, and I've done that. If you see again the interpreter, everything that is there of my winds, I did in an hotel in Bakersfield, California, while I was on tour. So, but it's something I try not to do much now. It's too much work. But since 2004, I've been recording at home. You can see, I have my microphones and my things, and so everything in 2020, when we were on the pandemic, I remember I recorded 16 different film soundtracks from home, here by myself.
Wow, good for you, man.
Yeah. We're the technology allows that. Again, Dune 2. What you hear me do with the beautiful melody that Hans challenged me with, I had to modify my duduk and everything, which was modified already. I had to modify the modified duduk. I had to extend it for the second time. I recorded here at home in my pajamas, and then I go to IMAX and I hear this thing and I go like, oh my gosh. It's amazing that something that I recorded here, then I can hear it in the context of that. It's a pretty amazing thing.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. How you now you mentioned Hans? How you remember how you tell us a story about how you connected with Hans Zimmer.
Well, he
Way
called
on the
me. He called me, Claudio, after those things that I mentioned of Yanni and everything. He was one of the composers that called me. And the funny, weird thing is, like the first time he called me, I told him no because
really.
he wanted me to play panpipes, and I'm not a specialist in panpipes at all. That's not my thing. I play many other things, but I said, no, Hans, I don't play that. No, yes, you have to come and do it. No, Hans, I'm sorry. I can send somebody else, but and then I did stuff with the Chinese flutes for him, and then after that he started calling me. I think the first thing we did was Pirates of the Caribbean 3. So from
Yeah.
there on, everything, yeah, you know, so that he called me and you're like, yeah. So yeah,
And you have been playing with him ever since. I mean, for
correct,
you know,
correct.
many
I'm
movies,
very blessed.
many
Well, this
tours.
this guy, listen, Claudio, this is one of the cases what this sounds cliche, but it's true. Where words are hard to describe someone. Hans is, I keep calling him super genius, but even that is not enough. The way his creativity works, the way his brain works, he is the most flagrantly unpredictable mind I've met in my life.
Wow.
And I'm pretty good at perceiving people. I'm good. I got good perception. I'm a communicator. That's part of my calling, you know, to communicate, to connect. And when I think he's gonna go there, he goes there. When I think he's gonna go there, he goes there. When I think he's gonna go there, he goes there. And it's like, so I gave up. I just go and try to, and then he comes up with stuff that many of them do, but especially him. He comes up with stuff and asks me things that, and Claudio, I don't want to be arrogant or anything. I'm pretty crazy creative myself, really. I mean, I'm very heavy creative. He comes up with stuff that even in my mind I would have never imagined. Like this thing with the Duke, then the thing of playing air for doing in the instrument, you know? I many people play air and stuff, but then he goes, like, can you do vowels while you're doing the air? And I'm going like, man, you're killing me. What is this? So I'm going, then I go,
Yeah.
completely different expression, you know, and things like that. And you know, joking, I think sometimes he sees us like we are his synthesizers, you know, and his sequencer because he has a way to ask us for so many different things that we can put in melodies, or he can simply sample them and then he can make things that we humanly cannot do. Like when I did my bass flute, I did some sampling for him for my bass flute. He put in how do you call the English detective guy, Sherlock Holmes, and he put that flute like 6 octaves lower. I mean, there's not a human person that can play that thing, and you can hear them. So his level and his melodies, man. All those people like Mark Mancina, John Debney, John Powell, Jermaine, James Newton Howard, uh, 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 Hans. They come up with these melodies, man. You go like that.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
That's very, very precious. Lisa, that's another genius. Lisa Gerard, your friend.
Yeah.
The things she comes up with, label another genius. The things they come up with, you go like, how is this possible?
Mhm. Some people are gifted, man. There's no way around it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But not only gift because some people are gifted and they do nothing with the gift.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
These people have wholeheartedly developed profoundly. So that's why you have results like that, you know, results
Mhm.
that then we affect people's lives. Man, there's no way through music and through art will not go unscathed. You will affect. When I listen to your radio, I was impacted just by the choices of the music you choose. I went like,
Like,
I need, because let me tell you something, Claudio. Many people want to interview me and whatnot, and I have limited time. You know what I mean? So
sure.
I check out the people to see if I want to do it or not. I'm sorry, it's the truth. It's not that I audition people, but I need to know, who I'm dealing with. And I when I check you out when you approach me and you
Thank you.
email, and I'm like, man, I gotta pay attention. Yes, I want to do this interview. And
Thank
listen, I'm
you.
not I'm not being cute or anything. It's like you're not paying me for me to say this. It's the truth. So that's why when we come up and we respond and we're obedient and then we're given something like this that we can share with people, then it's something so precious. Because
Yeah.
it's a lot of garbage out there. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of stupid things, and mediocrity is being a lot rewarded these days.
Mm.
And I cannot connect with that, Claudio. I have very little patience with mediocrity, starting with my own. So I'm a
Mm.
perfectionist in recovery, but that is something actually I need to work at more because I can be a little bit too much sometimes,
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm very lucky that, as I told you before, right, during the pandemic, I opened one radio, I sent the link to friends, and then I opened another one, electronic music one that I played film score, and people like it a lot. And then in 2022, I opened the YouTube channel. It's not even 2 years. A lot of people have get back to me, and they're happy doing the interview. My approach is different because I want to know the person behind the instrument. If I was
100.
talking to Hans Zimmer, I would not mention, you want the Grammy for here, you want the Grammy. No, no, no. I want to get to know the person, right? How they went from step one to step two to step three,
I,
how
I hope
difficult it
you
was.
can interview. I hope you can interview him one day. We will
Yeah,
see. But he's so
yeah,
busy and so many things, and he lives now back in Europe. So it's one of those things.
yeah, yeah. And like the other thing I tell you, I do what I do for the love and the passion of music. It in many ways, if you will, I'm creating like a musical archive for future
That's
generations.
beautiful. That's
All
beautiful.
the money that right now the YouTube channel and radio generate profit, and every single penny go to local hospital, St. Jude's Hospital. So
Bravo. Bravo.
I'm not doing that for the money. I have a day job, and
Congratulations.
it was
Congratulations.
it's no problem because, yeah, I'm
Beautiful.
passionate about what I do, man.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
now you've been, with doing one and then two and then touring. You mentioned before is feel free to elaborate on how difficult it is to be on tour. First of all,
Oh,
it's long. It's a lot of cities, right? You
listen,
go from
listen.
this city to
To
that
be
city.
to be on stage is an amazing blessing, Claudio.
Yeah,
Be on stage to share with people is really something so incredibly precious. But the thing is, at what price?
that's right.
You know,
Yeah,
some people love it. For me, it's very difficult to tell you the truth. Very, 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 very difficult. And I don't think it's an age thing. It's just difficult even for young people as well. No, normally, we start sound check at 4:30 or something, but that means we left the hotel at 3 or 3:30, and
yeah,
then after doing sound check, we have a little break, we have dinner, then we have to get dressed. We have a show of 3 hours and 15 minutes, after which we have 1 hour or an hour and a half to try to recover a little bit. But again, adrenaline is so high, and we change again to get on a bus to go to the next city. And
oh,
we're so high in adrenaline that we cannot go to sleep immediately. Many times we need time to unwind, and we joke whatever, and then we try to go to sleep. It's very difficult because many times it's a bumpy thing. Many times the colleagues are having a great time down there because it's a two-level bus what we have. So all the bunks are upstairs, and downstairs is people eating or talking or whatever. And it's wonderful, but at the same time, it's not easy. Claudio, it's
mm,
not for everybody. I keep telling my friends, this is not for normal people. Uh, you know,
mm,
uh, you do this once, and you are destroyed. And we do this almost 3 months. I left my home in February 25th to go rehearsals to do the new World of Hans Zimmer, and I returned on May 14th.
Wow.
That is 11 days short of 3 months. 10 days after that, or 11 days after that, I was getting on a plane 16 hours to go to Dubai on May 25th with Hans Zimmer Live to return in June 3rd. 16 hours, 20 minutes coming back. So, and I feel young and I play like I'm 15, but biologically I'm not 15 anymore. So, and even the younger than me, many times are falling apart. So what's left for me? So that's why I said before that all the energy I have, I keep for the stage because people should not suffer the consequence of what we need to do to be able to play. And it's very difficult, Claudio. I don't want to sound like a victim or anything, but again, it's a funny thing. Sometimes when I doubt, man, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Our beautiful tour manager for the world of Hans Zimmer, Alexandra, she says, Pedro, you have no choice. You're affecting people in a powerful way. You have no choice. You have to do this. It's like, you're right. So my wife, Sarah, she says, Papi, do it while you can. So we'll see how long I can do this. But yeah, Claudia, you were asking me about details of touring. It's very hard, bro, because it's like you become a family. In the bus, you're with 8, 9 other people, and you only have two common spaces that you can share with everybody else, and the only space that is yours is your bunk.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's wonderful because then you have to deal with your colleagues and stuff. But sometimes you need your space. So that's why sometimes when we have days off, I try not to go with many of them because I also need, a little bit.
Your own space,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So it's difficult. I don't know if you have other questions, but and we're also different. That's the amazing thing about
Mm.
these projects. You can see the power of how God blesses us in the sense of how united we are because we are all over the place. I mean, I do not know more different people than Lebo and Lisa, and they're like brothers, brother and sister, you know,
Yeah.
and like that. And myself, Juancito, who's from Colombia, another genius, the bass
Yeah.
player, composer, engineer, everything, entrepreneur, super genius, another one. I'm very close to him, but we're very different at the same time. So we all have our things, and we many times need our space as well. So it's a very
Yeah, because
interesting.
you are 2 months with people from different
More than
countries,
2 months.
which
More
or
than
three
two
months.
months.
Yeah.
2 months and 3 weeks, basically.
Wow. Yeah.
It's too
Any,
much. It's just too much. Personally, I like it better the way we did it with Yanni, which was 5, 6 weeks maximum, and then we stopped for 10 days.
right.
5 weeks, 10 days, 11 days, 5 weeks. But now that's not financially possible because we're from all over the world. Lisa comes from Australia. Lebo comes from South Africa. Most of the band from Hans comes from England. Many we come from Los Angeles. Other people come from Vienna. So to be able to do only 5 weeks and then send everybody home and then come back is financially it's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
they treat us well. They put us in good hotels. We
Yeah.
cannot complain on that. They show wonderful appreciation, and I'm very keen to recognize that as well. Really,
Yeah.
I cannot complain on that.
Any funny stories that you can tell from the tour
Well,
days without
funny
compromising anything?
stories. I don't know. Well, to see Lebo and Lisa talking about some aspects of life,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful documentary that somebody should videotape, and we could make money out of that. Just to see us interacting with each other.
Mm.
Oh my goodness gracious! Somebody could make a lot of money out of that because we're so crazy and it's so varied, and the minds are, it's like, and Lisa making our sandwiches and stuff. It's like, and Level sleeping on the couch that is supposed to be public space, but he cannot sleep in his bunk because he needs it so hot that nobody else can sleep up there. So he's sleeping there in a couch in the middle of the living room and we all talking and talking loud, and he's like, and light on and everything, and you go like, how is that possible? What a gift that
For
he
this
can
guy.
sleep deep and beautiful, no problem. Oh my gosh, I mean, it's a bunch of
Yeah.
incredible, and to see them playing playing FIFA up there, to see Juan and Elianita and Maestro Gavin Greenaway playing video games, and I don't play video games, although I play, for the Game Awards and everything, and I play for many video game soundtracks. But that is a funny thing. Another tragedy that I had personally was I lost my passport going from Dublin to Brussels, and that was very bad, Claudio. That was terrible tragedy. I was detained. I was put in jail. I was treated like a criminal.
Really?
I was deported back to Dublin, where I was issued by the American Embassy, God bless them, a temporary
Temporary
emergency
passport.
passport. They flew me to Germany. They smuggled me into France, and that's how we could play in Lille. Again, Claudio, the hand of God was something to behold. The day I lost that, we had no concert. The day after that, I went back to Dublin and I found the new passport. We had no concert. And I arrived 5 minutes after midnight, the day that we had a concert that night in Lille.
Wow.
Check this out. That is when it dawned on me. I said, I don't know if I can deal with this responsibility. Hans tell me, Pedro, you know that without you, we cannot do this thing. And I'm going like, I worked very hard for many years to develop something very strong and very unique. But I do not want in my conscience that because of me making a mistake, involuntary, like losing my passport, I can single handedly jeopardize a multi-million dollar project.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I don't know if I can deal with this. So that's another side of the coin of being very strong and very unique, and being able to do something that not many people can do. But it carries consequences that I did not imagine ever. So that's something that hit me. But God bless me. God bless me tremendously. I prayed before going to sleep in that cell in French, so that the angels of the enemy that were floating in the air, they would hear that I'm claiming the protection of Jesus over me, and God bless me, and I was triumphant over there. So there's so many, and everybody was playing for me, Claudio. Everybody, when they saw me and Leo, that I came in the bus, they're like, ah! And he was crying and everything. We're gonna have a concert. And I'm like, God is so good. So many things like that. Many things like that. Some people say that I should write a book of so many stories, so many things.
Maybe you should, man.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm considering that, but yeah. Claudio, you have any other questions, bro? Because I know we
No, no, no.
I'm
I
open for
would,
you,
it
huh?
would
I'm
be,
completely open for you. I don't have a limit time wise. Maybe if you want to
it
edit
would,
something later,
you
if you
know
want
what
to
I
cut
would,
something, I'm okay with that.
sure. You know what I would love to do, but of course I don't know if it will be possible. But if it's Hans, if Hans is watching this, I would love to be in a tour with a group, and in this case, you guys, for a couple of days and film the stuff to see the day-to-day interaction.
Well, that's
And
the
of
thing,
course,
Claudio. As of now, they don't allow that because it's security things, obviously,
yeah, sure.
And if
I
that
know it's
happens
not
once,
possible. I would love to do it,
yeah,
right?
if that happens once, then they have to allow other people to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if Hans is gonna watch this because I don't think he's gonna spend 1 hour and 25 minutes watching me sing about that. He has very limited time and he's working at probably 5 or 4 projects simultaneously.
Wow.
That's the way. Yeah, it's beyond, and many
Yeah.
things at many levels. Not only soundtracks for movies, but many other things. He's multi-layered guy doing many things. So yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
we'll see what happens. We never know.
Yeah, but I would like, as I say, I would like to capture, um, and I'm not doing for the money. I have no interest to be famous. I will give the recording to Hans Zimmer if he want to put like a Blu-ray, what it's like to be on the bass with the band, just to see the day-to-day, the interaction. When you say, man, it's
Well, Claudio, I think
terms of this,
I think many people would like to do that.
no,
But I don't know. I don't know what their thing is. I'm just a player, so I don't function at at that level a lot. I think that would be a brilliant idea, but if they haven't done it yet, it's because I guess they have the reason. You know,
sure, no, I understand. Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I noticed you have received several awards in like 2007, uh, performed by a soloist in a film or television score, a Pirate of the Caribbean, of course, in 2005. Another great award, Concert for George, in 2000. Another great in Venezuela award.
Yeah, but that's God's blessing. That's what it is. Claudio, I don't. Listen. Let me tell you this. I can speak openly about these big names, and like I said before, Paul McCartney. There are two beyond huge names, two singers that are of indescribable significance and position and level in the industry globally that I played the duck with in a duet for the ladies next CD. I cannot mention their names yet, but you guys will find out. Um, and I played in a song that is by the male singer. It's a male singer and a female singer, and they are beyond legendary. They are more than ultra uber hyper successful. They're billionaires. I don't know. I mean, but they sing with their heart. And I played Duduk from my deepest part of my soul. And I'm playing this thing, Claudio, and I'm recording. I'm going like, somebody pinch me. This guy from Venezuela, this mulatto South American guy from Haitian parents, recording an Armenian duduk that I made, that I modified with my double fulls for these two legends.
Wow.
Like, so again, in Claudio, the word of God is very powerful, man. Very powerful. Paul says in Ephesians 3:20-21, he says, and to him, with capital H, to him, the one up there, who can grant us exceedingly and abundantly beyond anything that we can ask or understand. To him be the glory. When I can see what God has allowed in my life, Paul McCartney. I have a duet with freaking Paul McCartney. Imagine that. What money in the world can pay for something like that? To play that melody of Hans in Dune, he allowed me that gift. He
Yeah,
challenged me, but he blessed me with that thing, which is a love theme of Dune 2, which is
right.
how many years composers, my dear brother, another super genius, Eric Percy told me, Pedro, have you realized that composers don't do that anymore? It's many years, 20 more years, that they use a single instrument to convey a love theme. They don't do that anymore. And to do it with a duduk is simple because before it was violin or cello or something, or a voice. To do with a duduk, number two, and number three, to be you playing the thing. Or like, that's God's incredible. And Claudio, these things are for history. You see, I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams to be next to the Taj Mahal in the Forbidden City, to be part of the Oscar winning soundtrack of Dune last year, and to be also soloing and playing in the soundtrack of Encanto, who won the Grammy this year. Listen, I'm
You're
just
right.
getting a manager now, Danny Daher, who we're gonna start working. But up to now, I never had a manager. an agent, a publicist, or legal representation. The only one I can name is Jesus, who opened all the doors that I can exercise now. And I think most likely He's bringing that into my life now so that we can try something in a new season.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you.
I don't have that many questions left, but let's talk about before we talk about the new two with Hans. Feel free to elaborate of the games award. Now
Oh,
you're
the Games Award. That's like the Oscars ceremony for all the
yeah,
gamers in the world.
gotcha.
And somehow I'm part of the orchestra of TGA, the Game Awards. And somehow, and I played the last five of them, I believe. That somehow something happened in the last three, or most importantly, the last two ones, because of the way I play. Gamers got impacted, and they're like freaking out, it's like, "Oh, this guy!" So they call me Flute Guy.
Yeah.
Flute Guy is at it again. Flute Guy is killing this thing. Did you see the energy and this and that? And I'm just playing. I didn't do anything else. I just play the way I play, with all my heart, with all the enthusiasm and all the energy that I feel I need to put into this thing. And man, this thing went viral, Claudius. Crazy, man. I'm so, like, for example, just a picture of me standing with Jeff, the president of the thing. The last time I saw was 2.2 million hits, maybe more now. And the
Wow.
explanation I did for the video, because in the last one I played, and this is thanks to Lauren Baffle and the composer, God bless him, who asked for me, and my brother Peter, uh, Peter Rotter, who's maybe the greatest music contractor in LA, who just won an Oscar as well because he did a documentary of the music school system in LA, and he won an Oscar with that. Imagine that, amazing. My brother Peter. Um, they called me for this, and somehow we just play like twice, and at the end of the ceremony we play the game of the year thing, and they always make a compilation of a combination of a medley of all the five nominees, and they make a medley music wise. So I played five different instruments,
Got
but
it. Wow.
the cameraman or the director, they missed some of my instruments, and people were asking about that. So I clarified that with a short video that is in Instagram and it's in TikTok and everything. And in TikTok, I think it had something like over 300,000 hits.
Wow. Good for you, man.
Yeah, and it's something I didn't ask for. I just went and I played, and this thing exploded from this. And so now Josh tells me, Pedro, you have to be with us every year. Every year, you're part of us now. You have to. So I have wonderful friends, wonderful followers that I didn't even know about. So I connected with a whole completely different uh, 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 subculture, which is the gamers and like that. Although I have recorded for many of them with Blizzard Entertainment and other people, um, and Hollywood scoring as well. Um, but I'm not very big in games, and that's a good thing because I know if I start playing video games, I will not do anything else in life. I'm so obsessive. You can see that. You can see
Yeah.
that.
No, of course. Yeah.
And so yeah, that is yet another blessing. God opened up this completely different market that I never even dreamed of. So I'm thinking about doing my solo thing. In the future, I'm working very much in electronica, as you can see. I play many of the wind. This is my digital one,
Yeah.
and this one is my analog one. Yeah, this the instruments I use uh, to play these wonderful instruments you see behind and all that.
Behind you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I use them also live with Hans. I played them, and Claudio, I'm very strong at these things. I've been doing this for 40 years, but nobody knew. So I'm now the last 5 7 years I've been bringing this out and using them live in concerts and recording also. I recorded with Ludwig Goransson, who's another super brilliant guy. He won two Oscars already. The young composer from Sweden.
Yeah.
And so I've worked with him. I've recorded for him different things. And wonderful friend, by the way, is the only composer ever in all my years working that allowed me a little wonderful little percentage as a creative composer for a cue in Turning Red for Disney. He's the only composer that has put me as a composer in a queue with him. That's man, I'm so blessed. Listen, Claudio, I'm so blessed it hurts.
Good for you. Uh,
But not all is rosy, huh? I have really big
right.
challenges also in family things and interpersonal things with people at work as well, people I love and admire that we have butt heads and stuff as well. There are always challenges in life, this thing called life. So that
Mm.
means I keep needing from God to keep working and making me better. God still has a lot of work to do in me.
It's good
I'm
for you.
very imperfect, but I'm perfectible. And I'm willing to allow God to keep working in me. So there.
Good for you. I think in a couple months, well, 3 months from now exactly, you are going to be back with Hans Zimmer. He's going to be here in the United States. I think the first gig you start in Georgia, they go to Florida. I'm going, as I told you before, I'm going to be attending the September 13th show in Baltimore. Then 3 years
In
later, three
Boston,
days
you're going
later,
to Boston with us.
yeah, right. I'm
And
going
Denver.
to Baltimore first in Maryland, right? Then
Yeah, and
Boston,
then Boston and then Denver.
and then Denver, Colorado. So,
Yeah.
man,
See, I remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna start. I'm flying on August 28th. Get willing to do some days of rehearsals, and then we go
yeah,
on America. We
rehearsal.
haven't been on tour. We haven't been in the U.S. touring since 2017, so it's a big deal. It's work.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not as long as what we did in Europe with the world of Hans Zimmer,
Yeah.
which is great because I mean it's and before that, Claudio, and that's I'm very looking forward. The challenge with that is that man, I have so many friends all over the place. I don't know how to invite them. They give us only 2 tickets per concert, so it's very hard to see who we can bring. But I'm very much looking for man. On September 12th is Madison Square Garden in New York. Is Hans's birthday. Imagine that.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a
And
big party.
yeah,
And after
huge one. And
the last question for you, Pedro. I know it's a personal night, but we can finish this the conversation with that because I know Hans Zimmer has opened a lot of doors for you where the music or the concert would include Gladiator, Pirate of the Caribbean, Dark
but
Knight,
I
Stella,
didn't
Lion King,
record
The Last
Gladiator,
Samurai.
Claudio. I
You,
didn't record Gladiator or Last Samurai. I played them live. Other
yeah,
people played them because that was before my time.
I see.
But playing them live gives me an opportunity to showcase my, I would say versatility playing the Japanese flutes. I made one of them out of PVC, literally. My alto shakuhachi is made out of PVC and sounds amazing. And also in Gladiator to play the solo that my teacher, the great late Jivan Gasparian, originally recorded in the soundtrack. I learned that and I play, following his example. Yeah, definitely. You keep asking, please. I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, yeah. And the last question I noticed that from the website, you say I'm a passenger, and I'm quoting, I'm a passenger in a vehicle that the creator is piloting. So feel free to elaborate what it means to you, and
Well,
we can.
what it's mean to me is that we are here. This is extremely important. Claudio, people, and I've heard a friend tell me, Pedro, you're the person I heard you speak more of God than anybody else. And there's a very simple answer to that, Claudio. The eternal takes precedence over what is temporary. What is temporary is very small and limited compared to what is eternal and what will be forever. So I need to pay attention to that. I will not let anything I do on the temporary to jeopardize or to affect my eternal reality. This is more important. Although this starts here, obviously. I started my walking in eternity here and it keeps going there. So that's why it's very simple. The eternal takes precedence over what is temporal and finite. And that's why I want to exercise purpose. Listen, Claudio, God has allowed many things again. Oscars, because it's not only Dune last year. There's a documentary called The Cove, Cove, a very hard to watch thing where the dolphins are illustrated with I'm the voice of the dolphins with my instruments, with my flute instruments. That won an Oscar also as best documentary a few years ago. All these things, all the big names that I mentioned and everything, all the awards that you mentioned and whatnot, and these big names that will come in the duet that I participated with this female legendary, this super uh, legendary male singer, and the song of that male singer. None of that, Claudio, will bring our daughter one day with us back here.
I know what you mean, brother. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And that calls me to be very humble, very focused. That calls me to be aligned to pursue, develop, and share and exercise the calling, the purpose with which God entrusted me with. I'm responsible, I'm accountable for that. And it's my beautiful duty and my beautiful yoke and my wonderful cross to carry, which is to develop that to the max I can to be able to offer it back to the Creator. The greatest musician that ever existed, Johann Sebastian Bach, said that music exists with a double purpose to glorify God and to sublimate, to elevate the human soul. And Claudio,
Hey,
since I am 17, I said, I want that to be the purpose of my life. God has been granting that my whole life.
all right, man. Pedro, thank you very much. I know we've been talking for 2 hours or so. It's such an honor for me. I'm a simple guy who loves music. I'm a simple guy who attends a lot of concerts, and music has given me a lot of satisfaction in my life. So I'm very happy to talk to you. We want to say hello to Lisa Gerard if she's watching this, and Hans
Oh, she's
Zimmer, and the whole
amazing.
team because it's an unbelievable.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Very special. Man, again, Claudia, God has allowed me to be with. It's funny. Sometimes I feel, man, these people are like ETs, man. Like extraterrestrials.
That yeah, I know what you mean. You are an ET too.
I'll take the compliment. And so are you, my dear.
Come on, brother.
Listen,
It
my
was very
pleasure to
nice.
be with you. My
No problem.
pleasure
It
to
was
be
very
with you.
nice.
Thank you
And
for
I will see
allowing
you
me
in
that.
Baltimore, in Boston, and then in Denver, Colorado, man. It was very nice
I'm
talking to
looking forward, my brother. Oh, look, look, yeah!
you.
And when I do that, let me see if they take the heart. It doesn't take the heart. Yeah,
There you
man.
go. It does. Very nice, man. Very nice talking to you, man. Take it
God
easy.
bless you,
Thanks.
brother Claudio.
Thank you very
We,
much. I
we keep in
appreciate it.
touch, okay?
You bet,
Bless
man.
you,
Thank
brother.
you.